Hi friends, my name is Akil Ahmed. In this particular video, I will talk about the character map transformation. So we will see what is the character map transformation and then how to use the character map transformation in SSIS. So basically the character map transformation is a component that can be used to change the casing of a column. For example, we can modify the casing of a column from camel casing to either lowercase or to uppercase. In this video tutorial, I will be loading data from a CSV file to a SQL Server table, and then we will change the casing of the first name and last name columns to lowercase and to uppercase respectively. So let's start the demo. I have some data in this test data underscore one CSV file. So we have some names like first name and last name. So for example, this is one of the name, Anna Williams. So this particular data is in the camel casing. So like in camel casing, the first character should be in the uppercase and the rest of the character should be in the small case. So these both names are in the camel casing format. So for example, if you want to change this casing to the small casing and if you want to change this camel casing to uppercase, so we can do that using the character map transformation in SSIS. Sometimes we want our data to be in the upper format, or sometimes we want it to be lower format. So we can do that using the character map transformation. So like while we are loading data from the CSV file, so even before loading the data to the SQL Server table, we can change this data on the fly in between the loading process. So we will see how we can do that using the character map transformation. So let's close this particular file and go back to the SSIS package. So this is my business intelligence development studio, and let's load this file and let's change the data, the casing of the data using the character map transformation. So drag and drop the data flow task into the control flow window and then double click data flow task to configure it. And now from the SSIS toolbox, just drag and drop the flat file source, as we are going to read data from a CSV file, and click new, make a connection to the CSV file, open, and then go to the preview. So you can see data here, first name, last name and other columns. Click OK. And now let's use the character map transformation. So this is the character map transformation in SSIS. Just drag and drop it into the data flow task, and now connect the blue arrow from the flat file source to the character map transformation. And now right click character map transformation and modify it. So we want to change the values of the first name and the last name. So for example, for first name, we want to replace the same column. We don't want to create a new column, but we want to change the existing column values. So we have set the destination to in place change, and under the operation we want to convert it to a lowercase. So we have choose the lowercase here. We have other options here as well, like uppercase and full width and simplified Chinese. So lots of options are there, but most of the time we use the lowercase and uppercase. So click OK. And similarly for last name as well, change it to in place change, and then operation will be uppercase. So the first name will be in the lowercase and the second name will be in the uppercase. So click OK. So now we have configured the character map transformation, and now let's dump this data to a SQL Server table. So we have used the OLEDB destination, and double click OLEDB destination, make a new connection to the Amazon.testing database. So our connection was already there. Change the data access mode from table of view to table of view fast load. It basically enables the bulk insert thing. Now click new to create a new SQL Server table, as right now we don't have any table in the testing database. So maybe we can name this as test data. The table name will be test data. Click OK. So a table will be created at the SQL Server site. Now go to the mappings, and you can make sure that the columns from the source have been linked with the columns with the destination. Click OK. So now we have configured the SSIS package to load data from a CSV file and change the data on the fly, change the casing of the columns, and then load data into the SQL Server table. If you go back to the SQL Server Management Studio and if you refresh the tables, so you should see one table here, test data. However, this table should not have any data yet because we have not loaded any data into this particular table yet. So let's execute the SSIS package, and it should load the data from the CSV file to the SQL Server table and should change the data on the fly. So it has loaded 30 records to the SQL Server table, and now let's go back to the Management Studio, and if you rerun the query, you can see that the first name has all data in the lowercase format. However, the last name has all data in the uppercase format. However, if you open this particular file, the file that we just loaded, it should have all data, inside the camel casing. So for example, this CSV file has data in the camel casing format. However, by using the character map transformation, we have changed the data to lower case and the uppercase. So thanks guys for watching the video, and if you like the video, then please click the like button and do subscribe to our channel to see more videos on SSIS and other related technologies. Thank you so much.